All right, welcome back to your favorite cryptopreneurship show. My name is Paul. If it's your first time here, this channel is all about crypto, all about cryptopreneurship. And today we're going to be talking about what's going to get everybody wrecked in this cycle, because chances are people are going to get wrecked yet again. And we've been pretty good at calling these tops and bottoms throughout the years through 2017 till now. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about altcoins, and I also will be answering your questions in the chat. So as we wait for people to join over here, understand, ooh, that was sounded weird. Understand that I'm not in my usual place. I'm not in my home office. I'm at my beach house. This is a temporary office. I'm fixing this place up, but that's why you see fishing rods in the back right now and stuff like that. So I'm at my beach house, but I'll be back in Athens tomorrow, back in Dubai in October, back and forth between Athens and Dubai and different other countries. So regardless, yeah, let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. And by the way, if you haven't already, I have a new partnership. This is not sponsored, by the way, but I have a new partnership with right here. It's called the UPay Crypto Debit Card. And listen here, this is a debit card. You can send USDT or any other cryptocurrency to your app. And with the app, you can use that debit card around the world, whether it's overseas, in your own hometown, does not matter. Just one thing you need to keep in mind is they don't automatically report. They're not in CRS, they're based in Singapore. So if you get this card, you're gonna have to manually report your taxes because they don't automatically report. But the good thing is they only have 1% transaction fees and no other fees, no overseas fees, no ATM fees, nothing. Right now, the debit card, the actual physical card, is working better than the virtual card. They're having some hiccups and actually helping them fix those, but the debit card works pretty much seamlessly. I used it in Greece, I used it in Germany, I use it for my travels, I used it in conference in Germany, in Dortmund. It works online, it works in hotels, it works at restaurants, as you may have seen some videos. So check that card out. You have some bonuses as well. Just scan this code right here or click the link and make sure you use my referral link for the bonuses. Okay, so with that said, let's have a look with what's going on with the the price. But real quick, how can you see me? Am I looking okay to you? Can you see me? Can you hear me? I would really like to know before I get started, so I don't start talking about Bitcoin and altcoins and then I find out there's no sound or some shit like that. So please let me know if you can hear me and see me. I'm looking at the chat right now and waiting for somebody to say that everything's okay. So looks and sounds good, says OG Bubba. Straight up crypto says look okay, good. Okay, awesome. So we're on, we're live, we're going. Let's do this. Let's do this. So here's what I'm seeing with the price. I'm gonna tell you the good news and the bad news. So this is Bitcoin right now, pretty much on target, working exactly how we wanted it to work. But I'm gonna tell you the good things and the bad things here, okay? Now, we got a top around 124,500 and we started taking profits when we broke under this candle of 115,000-ish, 117 to 115,000-ish. We started breaking down under this this candle, started taking profits a bit late this time. Must admit, we should have started taking profits 120,000 once 120,000 became resistance. We did not, or I didn't. And then the factor line, as soon as we broke into this range, the factor line also warned us right about here that we should be taking profits 115 to 113. And then obviously we got the confirmation at a lower price at 113,000. And we came into this range over here. And this was where, and we called the bounce, we called everything. But this is where I said that now that we are in the range over here, we're in a bit of a danger zone. And as you can see, factor line called this bottom. I called this bottom as well before that perfectly. I said we're going to start trading in this range. We are. And I said we need to break up above this higher part of this range. So just to mark that out for you, let me see if I can do that for you real quick. So let's take the trend line. Is it going to be red? Yeah, it's red. Let me see if I can Give me a second here. There should be a way. I keep on forgetting how to use this, but anyway, regardless. So right now we are attempting to break this range at 112,000. I kept on saying we need to break 112,000. That is key. And we need to hold above the lows over here at 107,400. Now, chances are, if we stay in this range, and I said this last time as well, if we stay in this range over here with Bitcoin, chances are, I'm not saying this 100%, we're going to break down. And the reason you break down is when you have a trend on the way down, the trend, if it comes into a range, the range usually breaks in the direction of the trend. So that's the danger point right here. That said, we have to see if this inverse sort of heads and shoulders, let me show it to you right here, plays out. So this can be the left shoulder, the head, and then you can regard this, let's say, as the right shoulder. If this breaks out, we're expecting more upside. And we did. Look, we broke up, and I told you we need to make this support. We didn't, so we can keep on going up. Instead, we broke up here, and we came back into the range, and that's what makes me a bit skeptical, but we'll be talking about this. I'm still bullish for now, but this is something to look at. And let me just clear this up now, because this is getting ridiculous, too many drawings. But this is what we need to do. We need to break 112,000 to the upside here, and make this support, right? Make this 112,000 support. That's what we need to see. And as long as we stay above, let's say, sorry, I ridiculously drew that, around, let's say, over here, 107,000, we're pretty much safe. If we break that, we can go to the low hundreds, maybe 104, maybe low hundreds. Below that, then it's extremely dangerous. We have to look at the bearish scenario. But let's see what happens. And we're seeing the 4 hours give us a bit of hope, I believe. Yeah. So if we look at the 4 hours here, the 4 hours did turn gold on the factor line. We did respect this range over here. You can see it. You can confirm it. And now we're going to be looking to see if we can get out of this range. That's what we want to see here. So this is what I'm looking with Bitcoin. And I told you, as long as we range, and especially if we break 112,000, we're going to see altcoins fly, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing some of our favorites altcoins flying over here, or at least going up on the daily, okay? Maybe not flying per se, but going up on the daily. That's what we're looking at. Here are my concerns. Let me explain to you my concerns. In every market, bottom and... So one of the things you know me for is calling the bottoms and the tops. We called 15.6K before we even got there. We called the inner drop at 74K quite recently. We called breaking all-time highs before the halving. We called the Trump dump, everything. We called everything. When it comes to tops and bottoms, I'm pretty null. Maybe we get some other things wrong. And I'm not saying we're going to be right every time, but we're pretty good at calling bottoms and tops. Yes? And the reason is we don't make a lot of calls, and this is kind of something I'm trying to say I'm specialized in, okay? This is something I take a lot of, how can I put this? I study this a lot. And in every market, even when I called 15.6K before we got there, every market I try to find the wrecking point. What is the wrecking point? The wrecking point is a terminology that I personally use to find the sweet spot where all professional and amateur investors get wrecked. Okay, 15.6 was easy last time. It was just easy to see. So if we're coming towards a top in this cycle, which we may be, I think the top's going to come in for Bitcoin late 2025. Altcoins, maybe it takes a little bit more, but I think Bitcoin's going to top out pretty soon. And I'm not saying there's not going to be an alt season. I'm not saying we're not going to go higher. I'm just saying I believe that Bitcoin's going to top pretty soon. And my projection for Bitcoin to top was 100 to 140,000. This was 2022, 2023. And we got that. We are within the 120, 140,000. I said we're going to be there by the end of 2024, and we're in that range. The question is, what's the wrecking point? Because everyone's waiting, from what I see, everyone's waiting for 150, 160K Bitcoin, 180, 250, 300K. And I'm not saying that's not possible, but let's take a step back here. And I think the wrecking point for most people in crypto will be around 100, 138K. when it comes to Bitcoin. Now, of course, that does not mean that it can't go higher. But what's a black swan event that can lead to this? And here's what I'm noticing. I've been noticing, and please, this is a thought process right now. I'm not making any predictions, I'm not making any calls, but I want you to listen to this and keep this in mind. And we're going to reevaluate when the time gets closer, okay? But what I'm seeing is, I'm seeing that although we're probably, or people think that we're going to get interest rates cuts in September, whether that happens or not is irrelevant for me. You know this. Show me the charts, I'll show you the news. But what I'm seeing that's bugging me a lot, is that gold is going up exponentially. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but usually gold goes up when the dollar goes down, and it's more of a safe haven asset, and that's scaring me. Now, you might say, Paul, it's because of this, because it does not matter. What I know is different. Now, you might say, but Paul, Bitcoin usually follows gold soon after. Yes, we've seen that correlation. And this is a correlation we may begin and may get out, but for so far we see that correlation. But for me, what if you remember in 2023, I was saying that in 2025, we're probably going to have a recession. And that may actually kill off most investors, pros and amateurs alike, because they're not going to expect it, especially in cryptocurrency. And what I'm thinking is, gold is going up, Bitcoin might follow. What if the wrecking point is everybody's in altcoins waiting for alt season and they get fucked? Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be an alt season. I still think there's going to be a select alt season. But I don't believe there's going to be an alt season where every single coin, no matter what you hold, is going to go up. We've been talking about that for a year. We're going to have a selective alt season. And what if the alt season we have is a lot shorter than expected? So we have that alt season, but Bitcoin starts taking market share, Bitcoin starts flying, reaches all-time highs, but then everything else drops, even whether we get rate cuts or not. Because think about it, we might get rate cuts, but things dump anyway, and this has happened in the past. It's not going to be the first time this happens if that happens. Or we get the rate cuts, we go up a little bit, we get an alt season for about a week or two, and then everything fucking dumps into oblivion. And this is quite possible. And people telling me, everyone's expecting and relying on these rate cuts, and that scares me. So either it's priced in, or it won't have an effect. Now you might say, Paul, is it possible to get a bear market and everything go down if we have rate cuts with quantitative easing? Yes, of course it's possible. It happened in the dot-com bubbles. They were printing like crazy. We still had a recession. It happened during COVID. We were printing like crazy. We still had a recession. It still dropped down tremendously. Even though we recovered, doesn't matter. It happened. It happened in 2009, 2010 with a crash. They were cutting rates like crazy. It happens. And this is what people fail to understand. It's the same thing like they were saying, oh, with the ETFs, they're not going to dump because they're going to have to hold custody. No, people can dump the fucking ETF. Just like stocks. There's stock ETFs. They can still dump. People are uneducated when it comes to finance. And this is what scares me. So, and I'm not saying, again, this is a thought process. I'm telling you what I'm thinking before I put it down pen on paper, because I want you to know and I want you to be ready. What if interest rates don't come yet, it might be more bullish, because then people can at least look, okay, for sure, they're going to cut interest rates next time. And I'm not saying it matters. I'm just saying for the perception of most people, it might do, right? But if interest rate comes, could it be a sell the news event? And I'm thinking yes, but not on the same day. Maybe we go up a bit, have a mini alt season or an alt season, and then we get into a recession when they discover that, I don't know, they can't keep up and the economy's fucked and everything's going on, and different shit comes out. And that might be the black swan event. Now, what will the black swan event be exactly? I don't know, because if I knew, it wouldn't be a black swan event. Black swan events are unpredictable events, right? Because black swans, as swans, are rare. White swans are common. People that tell you that white swans are bullish are idiots, because white swans are common. It just do not stick. Black Swan is a rare event, an unpredictable event. Okay? And yes, I know some economists, some famous economists named like a white swan is a bullish sentiment and named the phrase. But that was that fucking idiot that told you that Bitcoin's going to go to zero. So why listen to him? Okay, let's take the white swan for what it is. It's a commonality, and the black swan is the rare event. It's not a racist thing. It's not against any black. I don't have any prejudice against black swans. I'm just saying that's what a black swan is. Okay. No, so I see Henry B saying, well, if it hits several rate cuts ahead, bullish each month. No. They were cutting rates during COVID. We went down. They were doing it during the dot-com bubble. It does not mean that. And this is why I think, and this is why I'm saying, it's not 100%, but I'm thinking maybe the Black Swan event or maybe the top will be because of the sentiment of rate cuts. We go up and then we violently go down in a blow-off top. Because too many people are banking on this and people are getting it wrong. So it just makes me think that maybe this is going to be the case. Now, I'm not saying this is 100%. Again, I'm still looking to see where and how and try and predict where the top's going to be. But right now, I'm thinking to myself, that might be one of the factors. That might be one of the reasons for the end of the bull market. Not the rate cut itself, but the belief that the rate cuts are God's answer to stock markets and crypto. They're not. Why is gold going up? Gold is going up right now. That doesn't really commonly happen. If we're supposed to get a rate cut, that would be risk on. Why are people fleeing to gold? Shouldn't they be fleeing into tech stocks and high risk assets? They're not. So Bitcoin might follow. Bitcoin might actually decouple from the rest of the stuff and actually go up. And that would be interesting, actually. If Bitcoin actually starts following gold and starts going up to 100, 200, 250K, but altcoins dump like crazy, which means what? If we have an alt season anytime soon and we go up tremendously, take profits into Bitcoin. I actually talked about this today with my group. Take profits from altcoins into Bitcoin, or at least profits, not your whole positions, because if we do dump, there's also a chance that Bitcoin will still go up. So because of that chance, you might want to take profits into USDT and Bitcoin, if that makes sense. Or just Bitcoin if you're more risky. That will still give you exposure to crypto. So again, I'm not calling, if you just joined, please watch the beginning of the video for context. I'm not calling for a top here. I'm not making any calls. I'm not saying something's definitely going to happen. I'm just seeing a few things that are worrying me. And if it couples with a recession that we actually predicted in 2023, that was 2 years ago, I'm not sure it's going to happen now. But if it couples with that, this might actually tie in and give us an indication of when the top's going to be, if that makes sense. Let me drink some soda. I'll be right back with you. So let me answer some random questions real quick while you answer new questions, okay? Give me a second, because people are sending me notifications and I don't know how to switch them off on this computer. So bear with me. All right. Let's see. Thank you everyone for wishing me well. I am well. I have my doctor's appointment tomorrow, for those of you that know, to see what's going on. Sounds a bit low. I can't really do so. Let me see if I can do something about the sound. Maybe this sounds a bit higher now. Maybe this sounds a bit higher. All right. How's life weather? Win Lambo. Okay. Hello from Cypress, Texas. What's up, everyone? All right. So Henry, let's start with Henry again. Well, if he hints at several rate cuts ahead, but okay, if he hints at several rate cuts ahead, that might be more bullish than actually getting the rate cut, if that makes sense. I agree with that. Should we sell our alts? Tony, not right now, but if you have an alt season, I would at least start taking profits from altcoins into Bitcoin towards the end of the year. Will that be September, October, November? I don't know. I'm looking towards October, November for a potential top. I'm not saying it's going to happen. And altcoins around December, start of January maybe. But again, it's not 100%. I'm not making a prediction. I'm just trying to align things together and kind of time the market. It's too soon to tell. I mean, I've done it before, but I need like to get closer to the time, right? To the horizon. But what I'm doing in this live stream is sharing my thoughts, because you are also smart, and maybe you think of something, and maybe I missed something, and you can put two together. All right, the crypto factor said this, and this. This ties with my thesis on this. So if this happens, then I'll do that because it's probably going to happen, and then that thing happens. That's why I'm sharing my thoughts here. So I know a lot of times in my comedic approach of presenting on YouTube, I might make fun of people, stuff like that. But the truth is, we're all in crypto. We're all smart. Some of you out there are probably smarter than me. So what I'm doing here is just sharing my thoughts, because it might help you combine with your thoughts, if that makes sense, and then you can get some sort of strategy call, whatever you want to call it, if that makes sense. In the US, the most common rate cut we want is for housing. So if AI, artificial intelligence, let's entertain something for a second. Again, I'm just thinking out loud. Let's say artificial intelligence is a bubble. Let's say we're not ready for AI yet. It's relatively new. So let's imagine AI like crypto, and let's say AI for now has cycles like crypto. And let's say it's coming towards the end of its first cycle, because there's no more to build, and it's going to be a blow off top in itself. Meaning AI is not ready yet, not this cycle. It'll probably be the next cycle. So everything dumps in AI. The problem is, this will not only send tech stocks ravishing down, but because a lot of people will be suddenly out of work, relying on AI or in the AI industry, then demand for housing might actually go down. Now you might think, Paul, what are you talking about? Is this possible? I think yes, it is possible. And because my sister just bought a house on a loan in Texas, I just wouldn't be surprised, okay? She's like my counter indicator. So there is a chance that we are in a bubble here, but let's see. But I'm just trying to think out loud, as I said. But even if they do the cuts, will it be enough? That's the thing. Please update us when to sell. Look, I'm trying. I'm really trying to give you my thought process in advance, just in case I'm not around or I make a mistake. So I'm trying to give you my thought process so you can be aware of what I'm looking at. So when I make the call, you know why I'm making the call, and put two and two together, because I might be wrong. I mean, I was right since 2017. That does not mean I'm not going to be wrong. I've been wrong a couple of times in the last couple of cycles. I've been 85% correct. But you never know. Maybe that 15% falls and calling the top this time. I don't know. If alt season starts the Great Crusade, it has to start soon, in my opinion. Either with news, I guess, with more, and I really am not looking at news. As you saw, I'm looking at the charts to tell me this, but I'm trying to predict the news with the charts, because, you know, show me the charts, I'll show you the news. There's news for the masses, there's news for the classes. We get the news for the masses, not the classes. So if alts are already starting to show strength, maybe people know something we don't know. So for me, if the interest rate cuts don't happen, but it's hinted we're going to have them soon, or even if we have them, I think we're going to have a spike, but then we're going to have a dump, in my opinion. And that dump should be as profits are being taken into Bitcoin. Everyone's going to be thinking that it's a normal part of the cycle, but then Bitcoin will either drop and altcoins will drop more violently, or Bitcoin will decouple with gold and we get a recession and everything goes to shit. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Again, I'm not making it. This live stream is about thinking and sharing information with you and my thought process with you. I don't have it planned. It's just something I'm thinking. I'm just sharing it with you so we can think together. I don't know if that makes sense. So we can all think together, because you're smart people. You watch this channel, obviously you're smart, but you're in crypto, so you're smart people. So I'm trying just to share my thought process. Infect says, yo, what do you think about the performance of coins like XRP, XLM, ISO? So ISO 20022, as I said in 2022 and 2023, it's not what you think. I explained all about it, and that's why nothing happened till now. It's got nothing to do, it won't, like, if you start studying what it is and you understand what it is, it's nothing special. So let me explain to you real quick what ISO 20022 is so you can understand. It's basic. Swift is basically a messaging service. No, just exactly what you just heard. They don't make no transactions. They're just doing the service, the messaging service, the orders, if you will. Okay? So ISO 20022 is an upgrade from Swift, which has been ready for many years. They're just implementing it now. And all it means is you have one message, and when a bank sends that message to another bank, to indicate a transaction, not settle, then 20022, what it will do is you can put more messages in that same transaction. So basically they can make more orders, it will be cheaper and faster. And it's not just XRP that's compliant, any altcoin can pretty much become compliant. It's nothing special, okay? The marketing they're doing is great, but it's nothing special. So I don't think XRP will go over $4 to $7. Maybe gets to 10, but it's a stretch. I've been saying this for the last 3 years. And I do believe it's going to get there, maybe if it breaks all-time highs. But other than that, I think other coins are going to outperform XRP. Just my own opinion. Hey Paul, I've never heard you speak about Crow coin. Yeah, I saw the pump. And then I said somewhere, I can't remember where, wait for the dump if you want to buy it. And I tried it and I got in and I got out for a trade. The trade didn't work out for me as much as I hoped. But I'm not in that coin because it was news, it went up with news. So people just dumped on you like every single time. Demand for housing is already going down. That's interesting. Thank you, Crypto Clown World. Don't worry, XRP will rally and take alts up we all. That's the other thing that worries me. So in the last bull market, in the last cycle, excuse me, I was saying that the likes of XRP and SafeMoon will go to zero, which it did, and XRP won't go as much as they think. It actually topped, and people will say, oh my God, what are you talking about? ISO 20022, you don't know what the banks are doing, blah, blah, blah. And I said, listen, it's not going to go over 72 cents. As soon as it does go over 72 cents, buy when it goes over 72 cents because you're going to miss a bull market. And what happened was exactly that. You missed an entire bull market and most of this one holding XRP at the lows. Whilst if you bought at 72 cents and sold the highs like I told you, you would have been in a massive profit, like a 5x or some shit like that. Now the issue is, and if you didn't, if you got in before and you're like, oh my buy got in early, yeah, you got an 8x, congratulations. We made 20x's and 30x's on this channel. The problem is, that in the previous bull market, I knew that was the people that are going to get wrecked because most people were in XRP, SafeMoon, and all these shit coins. I'm not saying that XRP is a shit coin at this point. It might be, but I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. There were in a lot of shit coins, and those are the ones that went bust, and then the other alts kind of rallied, giving us an alt season. In this bull market, it's a bit different because we're going to have select altcoins run. And the reason we're going to have select altcoin runs is there's too many other altcoins out there. And that's why we're going to have a selective alt season. That's what I was talking about for the last year or two. So the thing is, the more people talking about XRP and stuff, the less I believe it, if that makes sense. So I am worried about that, and I'm not holding an XRP. I am holding some Stellar, XLM, as a buy play. But that's about it. Yeah, that's the problem. XRP people are just wanna. There's too. I'll tell you something that's gonna hurt, and please hit the like button because it's gonna be very hard for me to say this. Please hit the like button. I'll appreciate it because a lot of people are gonna start disliking this video right now, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Stupid people, teenagers that think they're gonna go to the moon and become rich and become zillionaires. They're not. When there's an impossibility for morons to become rich all of a sudden. It's just Dunning-Kruger effect. There's a whole bunch of things you can talk about. And the XRP army is so 100% sure that it's going to go to $100 to $1,000 that they don't understand market cap. And before you tell me you're not supposed to look at market, I was on the first chance to say don't look at market cap. But $1,000 is, I think, 8 times the global GDP, right? Let's be logical here, right? There's a few things to look at. The thing is this, that when you see a lot of stupid, I can't see a world where the XRP army, all the morons I've met in the XRP, they're not all stupid. There's some people that are actually smart, that are a bit diversified and say, okay, yeah, maybe we won't get to $1,000. They watch this channel. They're in the XRP army, but they actually watch this channel because they're more realistic. But for every idiot out there to become a multimillionaire, it's just not going to happen. And all these morons will have to get wrecked. Now, will it be because it will get to $4 to $7 and dump while everyone else is waiting for $100? Maybe. But it's very unlikely that everyone will become rich. They have to get wrecked. They have to. Right? It's not counter the popular belief. It's very hard to become a multimillionaire or a millionaire even. As a multimillionaire, I haven't even achieved that yet. So the thing is that all these people are probably not going to make money, or they're going to make money, not take profits, and lose everything. That's the only way. There's no way that all these people are going to sell. Even if it went to $1,000 tomorrow, by the time a few people sell, the price has to drop enough for everyone else to not be able to sell. So everyone's going to be exit liquidity. So that's the issue. When it comes to XRP, there's too many people that are too certain. And if you look at Dunning-Kruger, there's not just one theory of Dunning-Kruger. Dunning-Kruger is actually the Dunning-Kruger theory, right? Where stupid people don't realize they're stupid because they're too stupid to realize it. It's actually 2 psychologists in 1993 that wrote this, Dunning and Kruger. The Dunning-Kruger effect comes from the names of these 2 psychologists, reputable psychologists. And the other thing you have to understand is that when you have a linear chart and a scale, the more certain you are about things, the stupider you are. So the less IQ you have, the more certain about things you are. And everybody's so certain that XRP is going to go to $1,000 or $100 or whatever, that just proves how stupid they are, and that's why it's not going to happen. That's why they can't be rich, because they don't deserve to be rich, because they're too stupid to be rich. Because again, other than some really lucky people, most people don't get rich by being stupid. And most of the XRP army are complete morons. I don't know how to say it more politely than this. Please do not get offended. When I say XRP army, I mean XRP army maxis that are filling on XRP and think nothing else matters, and it's like number one, it's the God coin, whatever. Okay? I don't mean XRP army people that like XRP, maybe have a few more coins and watch this channel. Okay, if you watch this channel, you're probably not one of them. And if you are, you're probably not watching anymore. But it is what it is. I said it, okay? You'll be back, just like the Safe Moon Army, saying, Paul, you were right, I should have listened and become a subscriber. That's what happened the last cycle with XRP Army. They were talking shit, and they came back and became subscribers. And the people that just were joining now, hearing me talk shit about XRP, are going to start calling me a hater. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about, and then just vanish and not come back. Very simple. Do I still have internet? Can you guys still hear me and see me, by the way? Because I'm seeing there's a problem with the internet. Can you see me and hear me? Because I don't know if I have internet right now. Yeah? All right, Army Piper, my man. My man, Army Piper. Now, that's somebody that knows what the fuck he's talking about. Go check out Army Piper's channel. He's actually pretty awesome. And Army Piper, he actually did me a favor. I'm not going to forget. The indicator, the factor line. The indicator was actually a contact that I got from Army Piper. And we built the indicator, the factor line. If you don't know what it is, it's in the description down below. Piper, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate what you did, man. So yeah. And Army Piper is somebody you could watch for more information about other, should I put, technical indicators and stuff and shit to look at when it comes to interest rates and stuff like that. Although he's not news driven, He takes a more technical approach to it, but he has a lot more information being from America than me. So please go ahead, join his channel. I think it's really cool. All right, let's see who else. Do we have any more questions here? Been buying Solana since $5. Awesome. We called it $2, but $5 is an awesome play. While my friend was begging me to buy XRP. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you listened to me and okay, there you go. Well done. Congratulations, Adil. Yeah, so, I mean, Solana was an easy play. It was an easy call. Just like calling the mini alt seasons in 2023, 2024 was based on Solana. It was just logical to do. It wasn't anything special. I don't know why not many other people thought about it, but it wasn't anything special. Adil says he's now poor and I'm rich. All right, Scumman, Scum Man Human. When cuts come and push mortgage rates below 6%, we'll get a blow off top and bubbles, housing. Might be the case. It might be the case. Again, I look at the charts. I don't really look. If I see certain averages break, I'll know that's the case. I just shared my thoughts in this video. So you could do the math. That's why I said I want to share my thought process, because some of you might have more information than I do. We are all smart here. We're all in crypto. As much as I make fun of people, there's a lot of smart people out there smarter than me, and maybe we can put two and do together. So yeah, that's a good point. And Henry says, yes, too many coins. Coinbase has just allowed DEX trading. Yeah, there you go. So Bakar says, crypto already peaked. We are entering a bear market. So it's very possible if we break down under 101 or 100K psychological and make that resistance, very possible. Very possible. Even though theoretically we can go down to 74K or 70K and still come back up, that's very possible. We would call it a bear market, at least a temporary one in that case. And I wouldn't wait for that. I would sell or at least take 25% profits if we break under 107K. And we don't have a V-shaped recovery. I wouldn't chance it. I would just buy back higher if we came back above 112 later. But that's just me. XRP definitely has a ceiling. It's for payment settlements. Isn't that what stablecoins are? XRP is not going to be used the way you think with banks, and all these proof of concept investments by banks or whatever the banks did were actually paid by XRP, which is great. You're supposed to pay for proof of concept, but it does not mean they're going to use them. I did give a better chance of making excess on the pump fund than XRP, pretty much, man. Although I don't recommend it. Paul, quick question. Would holding Ethereum for the long term, say 10 years, a good... Well, Tony, it is a good question. At the end of the day, the only coin I would hold 100% for 10 years would be Bitcoin. It's the only one with sound, hard money principles. Yes, Ethereum, you can build on it, this, that, and it might make more profits during certain times with Bitcoin. And yes, there may be a case for also holding Ethereum, but Bitcoin is the only one with hard, sound money principles. So if I had to hold just one coin for 10 years, it would be Bitcoin. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, I'm a shitcoin minimalist. Okay? And yes, I hold Ethereum too, and I've been holding Ethereum since 2017. I'm just making things abundantly clear for everybody so there's no misunderstandings where I sit and how I think. So if you would tell me what should I hold for the next 10 years, it would be Bitcoin. No doubts about it. Would I hold Ethereum alongside? Yes. But if I'm holding one Bitcoin, I'd be holding one Ethereum, even though one, or maybe less, maybe a little bit more, but nothing major, if that makes sense. How did I go this long without knowing Piper? Piper is awesome. Straight Up Crypto. Straight Up Crypto, by the way, also has a channel. We actually work together for beginners. He has a channel for beginners. He's in my group. He's got my factor line. He's a mod in my group. You should definitely follow Army Piper, man. Yeah, and just like Army Piper, same here, man. We do this to help people, right? He doesn't care about followers and clicks. You deserve 1 million subs and more, brother. Thank you, Adil. Really appreciate you. And yes, I do. But thank you, man. I tell my friends and family to watch your videos and following you for quite some time. Always a good time seeing you post. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you. By the way, if you want to check out pictures of me and what I do, I actually started posting on my Instagram. So if you want to see food pictures, like food pics, and my Instagram's not loading for some strange reason. Interesting. So I think there's an internet problem here. But anyway, let's have a look. Yeah, it's not loading. My Instagram's not loading. Let's see. Yep, so I don't have internet. Give me a second. Nice to internet. All right, so there's a problem with the internet. I hope you can see me and hear me. But essentially, I don't have internet, but I am streaming somehow. I don't know how that's possible. But anyway, let's see what's going on. The channel is Piper Academy. Yep. I was going to show you my Instagram and my I was going to show you my Instagram account to follow and stuff, but somehow it's, oh, wait, I think it's loading now. Let's see. There was an issue. I don't know what the issue is. Hopefully you can still see me and hear me. But regardless, anyway, I for some strange reason, Instagram won't load. Let me switch it off. Yeah, and Twitter won't load. I don't know what's wrong with the internet. I have no idea. Anyway, hopefully you can still see me live stream. Hit the like button if you can see me live stream. And it's not a trick. I'm not telling you to hit the like button to trick you. It's just that I can see likes faster than messages because there's delay. So if you can hit the like button real quick, I would really appreciate it. And if you want to take back the like after, go ahead. I just want to see if you can actually, if people can see and hear me, because I'm not seeing any likes at all. So I'm not seeing this update. So I don't even know if I'm live right now. I'm just going to talk and hopefully you can hear me. So I see one like. So okay, so I guess there's likes. So I guess there's so there's live feed, but I can't. But things won't load like my Instagram and stuff. Anyway, if you do want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, it's MC Paul D. I'll put it in the chat, just so you don't go to any scam accounts. And if you want to see food pics and pics of my dog, go ahead. Hey, Paul, how are you? Are you satisfied with a dump of Bitcoin? I mean, I'm not completely satisfied. I think we're going to get a bigger dump, but it might be suffice for now, Moody. The Great Crusade, you're asking so alt season could start tomorrow. Sure, but I don't know where you got that from and what I said to trigger that. Glad you guys are subbing to each other's channels. That's awesome. All right, so if there are no other questions, I'm still looking at Bitcoin, and we're still in this range. Let's see what happens with that. Altcoins looking like they want to go up. They're just waiting for permission from Bitcoin. Let's see what happens. If you have any other questions, put them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And by the way, again, check out the card, the crypto debit card, this debit card right here. Just scan it with your phone. Whether it's an iPhone or Android, doesn't matter. And in the description, I also have a referral code. You can use that. If it doesn't work, just look for it on the App Store and use the referral code. It'll give you some bonuses. But generally speaking, that's the best crypto debit card I've ever used. Number one, 1% fees only. Nothing else. Just 1% fees. No top-up fees, no overseas fees, no ATM. No, just 1%, that's it. Number two, up to $100,000 a day. You could literally buy a car every single day. Okay, you could buy a house maybe in some countries. Okay, so $100,000. It takes USDT on any chain, different cryptocurrencies and so on. It's based in Singapore. They have offices in Dubai. I've actually met them. Great people. A friend of mine works there. The only thing you need to be aware, they're not in CRS, so they don't automatically report. Meaning, if you use a decentralized exchange, make sure you report and do your own taxes, okay? Because they don't automatically report. Just keep that in mind. So you have to do that. And the debit card, the actual physical card right now, works better than the virtual card. So the virtual card works. It's got some hiccups with the App Store on adding it on Apple Pay, I mean. But they're fixing that. But the debit card, the physical card works perfectly. So check that card out. And yeah, if you put my affiliate number or whatever you want to call it, then you'll get some bonuses as well. But it's a really cool card. Scan the code or click the link. You'll love it. It's also in the chat at the top. Hey Paul, what's the average price of your whole Bitcoin bag? I do not know, because I have my long-term bags that I bought at 2000, which I haven't touched, and I buy and sell through the market. So I really don't know. I really don't. I never look at that. I'm actually not that organized either. Just a lot of people keep like books and like buy prices and sells. No, I'm fucked up like that. I don't even look. I don't care. As long as I'm making money and I use the money where I need the money, that's it. So I'm very disorganized, very disorganized. So I can't tell you. I can't answer that question, unfortunately. But like the Bitcoin I had in 2017, I haven't touched, right? So I'll buy and then sell and buy and then sell, but I keep that. So yeah. So anyway, thank you very much. Really appreciate you all. Again, check out the debit card. It's an amazing debit card. I use it all the time. I use it in Greece. I use it in Germany. I'm going to use it in Dubai. It just works. Thank you very much. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Take care.